Hello, fellow classic enjoyers. It's no, wait. See, this you guys forgot. It's not a tier list time. You don't know. You guys don't know. We don't make tier lists. So, as you may or may not know, if you watch me on YouTube, a little while after a patch comes out, I'll make not a tier list. So this is not a tier list. It's just predictions, impressions, etc. So, before I even start though, I want to talk quickly about what I think are the themes of this patch so far, like the feelings I've had playing the patch so far. It's been exactly 10 days, so of course I am a expert and a professional and I know everything. I'm gonna make all the correct calls because, you know, we always know things like Nagoro Yuki is not good and stuff like that day one, right? So anyway, I think the power level in the game overall is raised, that the top tiers from last patch basically endure, but we also have a bunch of mystery characters, so it might be a toss-up. I think at this point, when you're into the game, if there's some top tier character you really hate and want to be deleted, you should just give up. Like at this point, like Ram has been good since like January 2021, and Nago has been good for like a whole year. Like I think it's okay. We're gonna make it. The good news is a lot of characters have some new stuff, so it's fine. Okay, it's fine. That's fine. And the last thing I'll mention is violence is enabled by new meter usage options, and probably the thing that's gonna push characters over the top outside of the normal stuff is again gonna be meter, but instead of having easy access to meter, it's a combination of easy access to meter and using some of the new fast RC stuff to just kind of keep you in and pushing, right? Okay, so let's start by putting everything in case you don't want to actually watch the video and you just want to comment or say something in the stream, and we will go from there. So, okay, boom. Oh, and because there's two, we just put Testament twice just because. Just because. I don't know why Testament is on here twice, by the way. They just are. So any time I'll just be like, boom. Okay, cool. So what is this then? So Eden, you should basically know, right? So these characters are eating. They're clearly either really similar to what they used to be, or they just like very clearly direct method got like a lot of buffs. And they can do what they used to do, but better in some cases. So, like, Nago is basically the same, HC is basically the same, Ram is basically the same, right? So, there. Zato, I think, is basically the same. There's apparently, like, a small problem. There's a petite problem with Zato. I believe they'll just fix it, though. I always believe technical characters can fix their problems for the most part. So, he's like that. Jacko, there's so many. I actually need to I need to find the clips, but like there's a bunch of new things she can do because of faster startup on minion stuff, and then she still has all her old stuff too as well. I think these characters are kind of just blatantly eating. Okay, then we have mystery. Why mystery? So mystery means what it means. It's a big we don't know. So each character has a different thing going on. Okay, so Milia's mystery because she got half buffs, half changes. I am feeling positive, but I don't really have like a super strong take about her right now. All I'll say is that I feel positive right now about her 10 days in. Chip, from his changes, he doesn't really feel different, so I thought he was good last time. I think he's good now, basically, but I guess the main thing for him is going to be about how he uses new meter stuff more than anything else. Mei. So Mei's were dooming, but now I talked to like Tempest, for example, and he's like, oh, Mei is like kind of eaten. So since she got some changes, Mei got a couple of nerfs and then a couple of changes like Milia. So it's just one of those like, let's see what they look like, but initially, since like it's really easy for people to conceptualize nerfs, so like when they're like, oh, we added more recovery to Mei 5H, Mei's cry, okay? But then they're like, we made it so if you hold a button on Dolphin, you go further. Like, cool, but you don't know what that means. But it looks like they're pretty happy with it, so we'll see. Soul is another thing. So Soul was one of the only characters I felt like got nerfs straight up. But then also I am told he has new combo root potential. Soul players are really focused on combos. His defense is still basically the best or close to the best. Like, he has the strongest set of defensive options you have to look for. But then on the other hand, he is slowly becoming Ragnar the Blood Edge. And what I mean is, when the game came out, that dude was the GOAT. And then I feel like they just keep on adding stuff that hoes Soul. So like, Nago still eating is bad for Soul. HC existing is bad for Soul. Ram existing is bad for Soul. They keep buffing Kyle. Like, Zato's out here. Jacko's about to be out here. They just buffed Faust. Like you know, it just feels like Soul stocks. Oh, FD being better. Yeah, it just feels like Soul stocks are not. I'm not saying they're crashing, but like, people have been selling their Soul stock recently. He could be still like really good. So like, last patch I thought he was like S minus, like relevant in tournaments, strong character, scary character. But we'll just see. Basically, I'm just not sure. Anji. So Anji, mostly because this character is so rare. He not a lot of people play him. I've been seeing way more of him, and as you know, I'm a fucking hater, so I do not like what I see. But I'm sure Anji players are happy because essentially, like, he's just kind of leaning into more of building meter and through block strings and being able to cycle through fusion options pretty reliably on offense. And he uses the meter really well, obviously, because he like Chip, he has like the new fast overhead option. You can't combo off it normally, but with meter, the cash out's really big. So both with fast RC getting the meter back, and with RC having no scaling, both benefit him. And he has wall bouncing moves too, which is also good for like corner combos. So his damage output is crazy high. Now, Faust, as I said, clearly buffed, but it's just, where is he gonna go now? Because they decided to, and I'm really glad they did this, they leaned more into his conversion ability and less into buffing the items, because again, the items conceptually are really strong in Strive in general, right? So it just goes like, what our match was gonna be like for him, because there were a bunch, he had a thing like Milia where there was a bunch of like, technically these are okay, but you don't punish them for getting hit, so he loses, you know. And now he combos you. So when I say mystery, it's just how much is he buffed. Not like, it's not a question that he got buffed, it's just like, how much is he buffed? Is he a tournament relevant character now? Is he teetering on the edge? Did they not give him enough? We don't know yet. I personally think he looks pretty good. I could definitely say he's like a mid-tier for sure. Last patch he did well against like Soul, Nago, Gold Lewis was I want to say, Ino was okay, Potemkin was like okay, Zato was like okay. Well, I'm saying okay like in a very like type of way. I probably have to pull out the Apology Man matchup chart again real quick, but we'll see with him. Testament's another one, so like, Testament got a ton of buffs. I've been seeing routing stuff that people have been doing with Testament too. I actually have a pretty good outlook on Testament. I like, low-key tool-wise think Testament is eating. I just need to see Testament versus other characters, I think. That's like my big thing. Testament is a character that I want to play too. Testament and Jacko and Baiken, they're all characters I want to also play. And HC are all characters I want to also play along with Milia. So then we go to NERFED. Oh no, NERFED. So the good news is there are a couple of characters got a couple of nerfs, but they also got some new stuff. Then also good news, Leo is definitely the most nerfed character. He is, I think, clearly the most nerfed character. There are other characters that have gotten some nerfs. So like Ram got like some small nerfs. Nago got some small nerfs. AC got some small nerfs. It's probably a couple other characters like Ino got some small nerfs. But I think out of all the characters, Leo got nerfed the most. That being said, I still think Leo's a pretty good character. seeing what people are doing, how people are fixing roots, you should definitely expect to see Leo at CEO and Evo, and then we'll go from there, I guess. He's still good at what he's doing, and this white change is actually pretty nice because like you just get to like ignore wall routing and just like keep acting like you're mid screen, which is obviously really good for him. The nerf to turbulence is really big, though. I will say that is a clear, really big nerf. And then also you have to consider how much other characters got buffed, and his defense got nerfed too. So now his DP is way easier to manage, especially on knockdown. So like there are plenty of characters that can get a knockdown and push that shit. Where before it was really hard to keep him knocked down, and when you're attacking him, it was scary. So I still think he's good, but I think it is very fair to say that he is definitely the character that got the most nerfs. He has several nerfs. Sweep got nerfed, -8. It goes further, but it's -8, so everyone can super reliably punish it. DPs being slower is a big one. Turbulence being nerfed is a big one. These are all like pretty major things for him. These were all really big parts of what made him really good and what made his footsies are good and stuff. I still think he's out there, though. I still think he's out here. I just don't think you'll see so much this character is broken and people will switch to him type energy. That's all. Then Doom. So Doom is people who play the character that I've talked to are dooming about the character. That's all. So Eno, the couple of Eno players I've talked to, they have been dooming over her. Mainly 8-stroke. Like, she got like these new neutral tools and stuff, and I feel like she plays the same, but they're just sad that 8-stroke is not plus. I don't totally know what they're going to do with Eno players. Like, I think outside of 8-stroke, she's the same, but like the couple people I talked to, they're dooming on her, so like I don't know. I personally think she's in a good place, and it's pretty similar, and probably has some really interesting things to experiment with, like the note PRC being more like exit YRC, and then how you can use new movement stuff. But I mean, 8-stroke was like the nice, easy plus thing to do, and now like it's like, what's the point? I guess probably it's got some combo routing changes or something. I don't know. But all the players I've talked to, but to be fair, not many. They were all dooming over the character, right? Then Axel was another Doom one. I haven't heard much positive things from the Axel general chatter that I've heard. So I thought his combo routing was going to be like really different and mildly beneficial too, because like you have like wall bounces and stuff, like 6k and stuff. But I have seen basically like no Axel, like just no Axel, and they don't seem to be very happy. So at some point I'll go back to playing him to see what's up, essentially. It's Doom, but you can't even hear them because like they're just like, no, we're just not gonna talk about him, type thing. Then Geo players are kind of dooming also. A couple things. Sweep is a big one, but out of all the things from last patch, I was like, yo, there's something you should expect to get nerfed. It's probably Sweep, right? But then also her 214S. So her 214S went from +4 to being like -7, and that is kind of an L because like it was a really flexible move. So it wasn't just about crossing up, but it's like when you used it, when you use it to enforce threat in pressure, she goes over stuff. So you would either need something to go under. It was like not the easiest move to deal with, but now it's punishable. So of course the drill kick is more plus, but mashing beats dash and the drill kick at the same time. So it's definitely, there are some aspects of her pressure that's much easier to deal with. Now on the other hand though, there is potential for some schmixture, because I have seen some left-rights using same side 2S and cross-up 214S, and the cross-up 214S combos now, and that shit looks like it does a lot of damage, so there might be some potential there. Just gotta, as usual, keep an eye out. Geo is a character they have doomed about her every patch, so, and she is fine every time, so I think this energy will go away eventually. And then Potemkin. So what I have heard / kind of how I feel also is they gave him some cool stuff, but like it doesn't actually fix his main problems, and it's still too much of he gets 50 meter and then just tries to gamble with super armor PRC or Mega Fist PRC Garuda and try to win off like the one in. So it's like his overall game plan is still not very stable. Plus they keep adding stuff that's hard for him to deal with. Basically, my current feelings right now. What do you guys think? How y'all feeling? I think this is gonna be a pretty interesting patch, if anything. And then you gotta remember we're getting 4 new characters on top of this. So probably next time you'll get an actual true blue. This is where I feel like the characters are at. Probably after Evo.